Hitting go live.
Good, good, good. Good, good, good.
Hello, everybody. We're back.
Everybody, hello.
It's been a hot minute. How's it going?
Yes, I finished day 5, Stuart. Day 5.
Samuel's been a little busy beaver. I have too. I've been doing lots of lives and stuff for you guys over the weekend, and
I've actually been
so
away
I've
from
seen
my...
you guys. But Samuel's been like absent.
That's why I've actually been away from my phone, because when you're filming on location for 7 hours, you take pictures, you don't have to check your phone. So, in fact, I'll show Stuart because as you guys know, Stuart knows there's more of a frame than you guys see. So here's a little teaser. It's actually quite a spoiler. So, love you, bud.
Oh yeah, baby. Beautimus.
Not something I thought you'd see, eh?
That's pretty great.
Yeah. That's like one of the coolest moments in the entire film, as you can imagine.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Be excited,
cool.
guys.
Wow. All right, disclaimer from the get-go. I know it's only been 3 episodes, but we're going to rank them like we see them now.
Yes.
We'll probably do this again after the first season.
Yes. Which I'd like to, because they're all so distinct. That I think this, of all the shows, like if you were to rank the best Discovery characters, it'd be like 4, then joint 5th. Like 7 would be joint. It's such. Do you prefer Bryce or Reese? It's like no strong opinions either way. So yes, I think this is a much more distinct cast. I'm excited actually. They're obviously all getting their own unique character episode. So by the end, we'll have a lot more screen time with each of them guaranteed. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how we vibe differently. But I thought 3 was a fair number. I said this last week as a potential, but I thought 2, no, 3. They've all had a shout now, and here we are.
So yeah,
I'll start sharing then.
Go share, yeah. 25 people, 27 people here now, 16 likes, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Really looking forward to getting your input on this and hearing your thoughts on our picks. So if you're able to super chat, we would really appreciate it. Last month was kind of crap, so if we can get a good kickoff to this upcoming month, your opinions, and we'll discuss them. We do read them all on the air, so if you're able to, please do. Also, don't forget that there is the join option down there. You can click the join button and join the channel, and you can get a different rank and, be part of the community that way. It's like a monthly way to support us. If you can't super chat all the time, that's cool. But we if you can help us out in that regard, we would really appreciate that. So, also, there's links down below to a whole bunch of cool stuff, including the TeePublic, Teespring store, and the TeePublic store, which is Trekyards merchandise. Bunch of cool stuff. You can fill your cart and save yourself some money with the discount code Trekyards10 when you check out using the affiliate link down below. So lots of great ways to support us and help us. So you can head on over to Patreon/Trekyards. That is another way to do that as well, to support us and help us out. Just gotta adjust my camera a tad here. There we go, because it kept getting bumped during the last few days. So yeah, any way you can support us, please do. If you want to send a PayPal, send it to trekyards@hotmail.com, and we will read your comment or question via the email from PayPal. So lots of great ways to get in touch with us and to be part of the discussion. There we go. I'm lined up a little bit better now. That's good. So, yeah, welcome back, guys. Good to see you guys. And yes, keep in mind that this is only after 3 episodes. We understand that, but we wanted to give you our initial thoughts on these characters and see where they kind of rank for us. So it should be fun.
Yes. Exciting.
It is.
I will start a poll, though.
You start a poll, my friend. Guys, hit that like button. 41 people here now. It's 24 likes. Show us that you love us. Hit that like button. Yeah. We're gonna have kind of a messed up filming and live schedule starting next week for just about a week or maybe 2. But we will talk to you guys about that a little bit more at the end. I have to go to Wonderfest, and unfortunately I leave on the Thursday, which is the day we do all our filming and stuff, and I'll be there for Friday, so I'm not sure about lives, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So just so you guys are aware, there might be a little bit of a change schedule-wise for that kind of stuff. So,
Yes. But we still have to do lives because otherwise we can't pay our bills. So I will probably jump in and do something with you guys.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure how the internet thing's going to be and all that. There's a whole bunch of variables there.
Yes,
so we'll see.
Yes. So Stuart, read the poll. Interesting question. It's a very binary question, so let's know what we think.
Do you have a specific Strange New Worlds character that is your favorite, or not really? They're an interesting cast. Yes, one favorite, or no, the cast is cool. Ooh, just went to 50-50. Nice.
Because I don't know. It's an interesting question. Is there one that you think, like, instantly, boom, that is your favorite, or are you kind of in a... Actually, you know what? There's some so close to cool.
There was one I immediately put as first, and then shuffling the rest wasn't that difficult, actually. I was surprised with kind of how easy they slid into place, so...
Oh, on the wrong thumbnail. I just realized. Yeah, I found this a little bit harder than I thought.
Really?
Yeah. Like, what do I actually think is the question.
Yeah, and keep in mind we had 11 people on the list, yes. So we're only doing top 10. So.
Yes, I found us 11, which I thought was quite good because there are actually 11 people who have said things of note.
Oh, you forgot Sam Kirk. Chuck Jones just put in. I
did forget Sam Kirk. Poop.
Oh, he hasn't been in it that much. Let's be fair.
Yeah. I get. It would still beat out 2 of the options though. True.
Yeah.
Well, it allows us to be even more conducive on the second go, because on the second go round we have more options anyway. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so do you have a super chat goal straight from the start? Do you have anything you want to see in the next few minutes?
Well, I'd like to see at least 50 in the next few minutes anyway. Would be awesome. Good way to kick off. So, if anybody can, super chat, help us out. We want to hear your thoughts. We do read them all on the air, and we'll discuss them. So.
But let's start with you today, though, Stuart. So what is your number 10 in this of 10?
My number 10 is Noonien-Singh. I am just not a huge fan of her character or the... Oh, I don't know. She's not as bad as she was for me the first episode. She's definitely got a little bit more likable. But honestly, I'm just not really interested in her or the character. It seems like a tick in a box kind of thing, as far as let's do something weird and fun, let's make her related to God, and it's like, oh well, that was unnecessary, but okay, we'll go with it. So yeah, she's just not really anything special for me, and she's got a lot of screen time too, but like I said, she's kind of upped herself a little bit in my opinion, in my eyes,
from 11 to 10.
Yeah, but she honestly... She almost made the 11th spot, but the fact that she's grown on me a little bit is important because it shows that the writing and the acting is doing its job. So, but yeah, not really interested or impressed so far with her. So.
Okay, now is that? Do you think it's the weight of the Khan stuff that is diminishing her? If she wasn't Khan related, do you think she was on her own more and therefore be higher, or because there's that baggage that you're rating it? Because obviously we're going to cross-examine here because I think we have different lists. So
yeah, it's a lot about the baggage. It seemed like a stupid add-on to me before the show even started, and to have it all make sense by the end if they are going to spool this into TOS, plus the actress, she just comes across as a little bit unlikable, but I think that's part of her character. So I mean, the actress is doing a good job in that regard, but honestly, just not really for me. I just don't know. We'll see. Yeah, okay. A lot of it is the baggage of just how genetically modified is she after generations. So
also part of it, in a sense, is that the unanswered questions are causing other characters to be more interesting because you have answers to questions. So this isn't like to hate. This is least interesting out of the 10. So because her mystery overshadows her interest, you're like, yeah, but I don't yet care.
I really wish she would have had a different last name, and kind of like Khan and Into Darkness, with the Harrison. But she had a different name, and we find out she's a little bit stronger. She's like Olara from Orville, kind of a mysterious background, and then halfway through season 1 we find out she's actually a Noonien-Singh. That would be more interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. And Kit's here, so send to PayPal. I'll say, Kit, that anything that you send today, since we just got our YouTube paycheck, which will be what Super Chats are worth, I will split whatever you send today to me and Stuart. So anything you PayPal will go directly to us today, as equivalent to a Super Chat, but actually worth more because PayPal takes less. So just to let you know in advance. Ha ha ha.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yes.
Help if needed. Help if able. Yeah.
I mean, I was basically on zero in my account, I'll be honest, from paying things and bobs. I was running an empty tank.
I saw a deposit for this month, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
I don't understand that, because...
Especially after last month.
we had, I guess, all of the good stuff happened in that one, whatever YouTube determined. That's why it was better. But I was expecting a rollover, and we got less rollover. That was a... Like, when you're running at zero petrol, like, it's nice to see anything. It's like, yes, I have a tank of petrol, but it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, side note. That's our live discussion on that. Okay, Lan, interesting. Okay.
How first of all, hold on.
Yeah.
How easy was this list for you to do? You said it was a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it was. Try and work out who. Yeah, it was very much a cutthroat. Like, I gotta say this person, but I don't not like any of them, and that's a hell of an achievement.
Exactly. That's what makes it difficult. Is you like them all, yeah.
But like I say, this is where their personal stories, or what we've teased at, will lead into interest as well. A lot of that will. And that's good, because, like I said, do you really care about Bryce or Washington? We like the actress because we met her and she was absolutely lovely. That like, seriously, I think our liking Washington is the actress. It's completely on that bag. There's nothing to do with the actual character.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
and that does help, meeting the people and seeing what they're like. But
so there you go. All right, my number 10 is Uhura. Now, part of, I think, is also her baggage, because we know Uhura, and therefore you're both sort of expecting and not expecting stuff from her. But currently she's not really done anything to be impressive or that interesting, because she's just been a low-key Uhura. It's like, okay. Yep. There's nothing there extra to kind of grab me. The actress is fine, but it's been not played too much. I like the links to Uhura, the character, the singing, etc., but just nothing about the performance and the lines has grabbed me in any way particularly, and I think of all of them feels the most vanilla. It's just a young Uhura. It's okay. Like I wouldn't say anything else beyond that. Whereas everyone else I have, I guess, other comments about specifically, one way or the other. So nothing bad, obviously, these are all, I like them all and she does fine, but she's okay. She's fine. My least favourite of the 10. And it can't even be Lan or Ortegas. She can't even grow very much, because we know where she ends up in TOS. Now I'm sure they're going to abandon and do their own thing, but like, we know where she goes, so they can't do as much with her innately. So now that we're in the weeds, it's like, well, they can't. It's weird. It's weird. And obviously know more about her character by killing off her parents and her brother. We can't even meet her parents ever and have a development there. We can't have the parents come to the Enterprise and be linguists. No, they're just, like, her story is so small now, they've kind of shrunk it down. You know what I mean? They've kind of, like, just really brought it into... it's funny, I put this as an thing, but now I'm vocalizing off the top of my head why, and those are really interesting reasons why my brain, my gut says. So yeah, to kill off her parents just takes those out of the equation entirely, story elements. So, yeah, wow. Yeah. Huh.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to see where she sits on my list, but
yeah, just not grabbing me in any particular way. Which in fairness is also her in TOS to some extent. I think Nichelle has a lot more charm, but she was like, I have 3 lines a week, I'm going to give them all. But when you have these long, big conversations, you're not necessarily thinking each line is the gold. But if you only have 3 to deliver, you're going to, you know.
Yeah. I get the distinct impression she's going to have more lines in season 1 than Nichelle Nichols had in all of Star Trek.
Yeah, but then Pike's going to have less than Kirk in like 5 episodes as in all of 1 season. Because it's just the you know, the leadness of it, and Spock as well. Like he's, you know, just least impressive, least interesting out of the 10 for me.
Yeah, and again, caveating this with, yes, only 3 episodes in. We'll see where the rest of the season takes us, and we'll do this after the season's over as well to kind of see if they reshuffle.
Although both Lan and Uhura have already had episodes partially focused on them.
Yeah, but honestly, Uhura's didn't impress me too much because it was essentially Hoshi from Enterprise, the same thing. I don't know if I want to be here. I don't want to go on this away mission. I'm scared.
That's true.
You know, so.
Yeah, it's a vague deja vu episode.
Yeah.
Whereas we haven't had ones from Hemmer, etc. Yeah.
Cool. Well, guys, that's our number 10. Still no super chats. If somebody could throw in a super chat, make sure the system's working. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Don't you like Strange New Worlds? Let us know.
They hate Strange New Worlds. I know.
Number 9 for you, Stuart.
Ooh, my number 9. Let's see. Where's my number 9? My number 9 is number 1.
Ooh.
Or Una. I'm really not a fan of Rebecca Romaine, honestly. So that's something that's detracting a little bit for me. Her character has a lot of potential, has a lot of interesting quirks, especially now after this last episode. But yes, she's a strong presence. Like when she was on the bridge, when Pike was on the planet, I think she did a fantastic job. But I'm just not really interested in the character. So this is much more these first 2, 10 and 9, are kind of personal biases, in my opinion, or on my behalf, just because of the actresses. I'm not really super excited about them. So
we've had actresses or actors that are just like, you haven't been interested in, boom, they grab you. So it's on the scripts and the stories.
Yeah. And I'm sure she's going to be great. I mean, we did see her in season 2 of Discovery, and she had some really good presence there as well with the little bit she got. But
which do you like her better?
I just don't know.
As a series lead, or as the brief guest appearances in that one?
Yeah, guest appearances for sure. I don't know. She's going to have to really impress me. And yeah, I mean, last episode was really good for her character, but I don't know. I'm just not interested. And she was higher on the list. She kind of got slid down a few just because I was doing some shuffling. So
now is that so how is her being an alien, a fully gender-modified alien, is that everyone else is better than her on the list, or is that there are parts of her character who are also uninterested in, that even with that, you know, triple depth doesn't help?
It just doesn't help. She's a good actress, she really is, but I'm just really not a huge fan of the actress, honestly. So it's biasing my opinion a little bit, I think. So
although Han says
a lot better as Mystique.
Han says it's nice to have a mature woman on Trek that doesn't act like a bratty teen. Yeah, mature, as in like
True. In
personality and in ages. But you know, in Trek she's in her 30s, even if she's in her 50s. So okay.
Yeah. Kit 10K sent a $10 PayPal saying no super chats. What the hell? Come on, guys, share the Trekyards love. Yeah, I'm surprised too. Actually, what are we in this? Like 20 minutes already in those super chats. Although we got a new person joining the channel. Dave Kayer has joined the channel at the rank of Commander. So thank you so much. Those channel memberships mean a lot more than you guys realize. It's not very much a month to take dive in. So thanks so much.
Yeah, because we see this grand chasm of continuing Trek. We're going to keep making breakdowns, analysis, thoughts, deductions, all those analyses, and we can imagine that when we get Prodigy and Lower Decks, boy, those videos are just going to flow, because boy, they do a lot of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. My number 8 then I chose was.
Oh, you're number 9.
My number 9 is then I chose. Hemmer. There you go. Trying to think. Hemmer, because he seems a bit one note to me. He had promise from the trailers, but he's just kind of had the same joke each episode. I mean, very much and this is not a complaint so much as every episode he's had the same function as two. He's the grumpy engineer who is grumpy. That's it. There's nothing else to that. Now, that is obviously a lot of TOS, but his blindness is not played into it at all. He doesn't feel or seem blind because he's obviously working around that, so that's not adding anything to his character. And he's just not dull, that's the wrong word, just one note.
Well, to be fair, we only had him in 2 episodes and not really large parts as well. So.
But he's also had more lines than Ortegas so far. Because last week he got a decent amount. It's relative, it's the first 3, but he hasn't impressed me in any way particular. Like, he can be fun, but the cast has so many fun characters that then he's not got lost in that to me. And him just saying, I am a genius, you know, doing a thing that's just a basic thing, which is divert all the power from all the transporters. How do you do that, sir? Will's transporter subroutine number 4. I'm a genius. You haven't shown that yet. And I think he's too arrogant for his thing. With Scotty, clearly a better, he doesn't need to say I'm a genius. He just is by lying to his captain. Just not impressed me so far. Fine, at least the makeup and stuff. I mean, if it was a human, it'd be under Uhura. But at least the makeup is great and adds a vibe. But hasn't done the thing to earn me any points except being just a one-note character.
Yeah. Well, we got some super chats. The Grim Reaper puts in $3 Australian. Testing 1 2 3. And Ozzy throws in $2. It's hammer time. Well, thank you guys. At least we know how the system works. However, that being said, they've changed YouTube Studio because it's not all one color like it used to be. Now it's like different on my end anyway. But that's okay. Damn YouTube Studio. Always updating things. Engineers, they like to change things. Nice segue.
Although I will say that I did just the script I just had. I did mention an Anar in part of the dialogue. So, as a little homage to the re-addition to the canon. I just filmed it David. I can't remember what we said, but I said something in one of the scripts. I've done so much the last 5 days. I do not know what we did.
Hammer for me.
Do you have any sort of sub-copies me on yours? Do you have any sort of questions as to me of why I think to into like in a jury?
No, I get why you think. I knew he would be lower on your list. I mean, do you have hope that he'll become a more than one note character? Obviously you do, and I'm sure they have that plan for him because.
Well, they could do a lot more with him than Uhura for sure. Yeah. But also, the time's limited as well because they will leave the Enterprise in only 4 years. Now I'm assuming because they invent something that's so clever that they leave the ship and do something better. That's kind of vibe I'm getting, personally. They seem too arrogant to be able to work on a ship for that long. I need to be in charge of a whole department. Then what's to do that? I need to be in charge of an entire starbase, and then they kind of, But kind of like Khan says, superior ambition, superior talent, superior ego. Kind of like he has this vibe of a superior ego. And it works in context, but you can only deal with that for so long. Now, that's only the hints of it. I won't say that as a verbatim, but, which is, yeah. Yeah, no, I think we'll see more. But they can test person anywhere, but also, they're going to have their own story arc? Maybe. It'd be kind of nice if we went back to Pandoria and they hung out with Pandorians and kind of had the intercultural stuff. That'd be nice.
You need if you knew Shran.
I mean, he's not going to be young as chief engineer, so, yeah.
He seems like an older one, yeah.
Thanks.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potential there for that character, but we'll see how it goes. I thought it was interesting him trying to beam up a piece of the mantle from the planet. That was a nice scene.
That was clever, yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't properly realised though, because they were already beaming it to then be half beaming it. But how do you realise?
Well, they were having troubles with the transporters because of the ion storm, so he was overcoming that as he was doing it. But, it's whatever. Yeah. It's fine.
My
Yeah.
number 9.
Don't have any other questions for you
No,
about that one.
it's all
Sorry.
good. No, the one question was good. All right. Your number 8.
So my number 8 is Mbanga. Um,
And you liked him, so that's interesting. So low.
well, I mean, I like them all. That's the thing. Just because they're low on the list doesn't mean I don't like them.
Okay, fair.
Let's clarify this again. He kind of lost me a little bit with the whole daughter thing. Like, it doesn't make me like the character more. It's kind of like, oh shit, cliche bullshit again. Super stoked.
Okay,
about
that is fair. That is fair. But it's also a core tenant. But yeah, certainly a cliche at this point.
Yeah. And when he says, you know, I'm the chief medical officer on the flagship of Starfleet, I'm like, points deducted, dumbass. Actually, that's from the writers, but whatever. Anyway, we know that he's in TOS, and it's be interesting to see exactly why and when he goes to Vulcan. I'd love that if it has something to do with his daughter's sickness now. But I'm looking forward to learning more about this character. Yes, we kind of got the vibe that him and Pike know each other. They've done like gone on safaris together or trips or whatever. And so there's going to be some history between those two, which will probably flesh out this character a lot more. I do like the actor, even though I have a real hard time with accents. I always have. So sometimes he does kind of mumble his lines a little bit, and it's hard for me to... I'm glad I watch it with the subtitles for kind of our job, because it really does help out. But a lot of people have complained about that, and I think he needs to try to enunciate a little more, maybe. But again, that's not really his fault per se. So,
well, he's very much staying this sort of like, well, I'm kind of a jazz, and I'm talking in a very specific sort of low tone voice, and that does, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas Spock is trying to be up and talking more like this. There's a range. He's saying very like he's so in control of his sickbay that he can just be super relaxed and talking, so much so his mouth isn't even forming the words properly. It's really subtle, but it does come across for sure.
Yeah. No, but I really like his sickbay. I gotta say, his office is really nice, but that has nothing to do with him. So hey, no, he just I need to see an episodes focused kind of solely on him, and I don't want every episode to my daughter, because that's going to get old really quick. Yeah, it's an important part of people's lives. I get that, but unfortunately, I think that might be a problem with the character, and I don't want to see that be the case, because I want to like him more than I do, because I really liked him at first, and now I'm kind of like on him because.
What do you think about his sort of medical vibes? How talented he feels like as a doctor?
I was just going to get into that. He seems a little bit lackluster, honestly. He's just kind of going with the flow. It seems like Chapel's kind of upstaging him like in every step, and he hasn't done anything extraordinary, really. Yeah, I don't know. I think I want to see more of him being more brilliant, more like getting to the solution of a problem. Or in this last episode, he kind of just, I don't know, goes on light waves. There's nothing I can do about with your blood. You don't have any antibodies, so I'm not even going to try to do anything. I don't know. I'm going to go to sleep now because I'm feeling kind of sick.
Yeah, that was a weird scene.
I just feel
to
like
give him contextually of him to literally give up. I know it makes sense, but the way he did it was so underdeveloped. Like, okay, good luck, life or death, good luck.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're probably not going to wake up from this, mate, and you're just, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just hoping there's going to be more for this character, because I really do want to like the character more. But he's one that I went into really excited about, and so far just hasn't really impressed me. So, again, high hopes equals, problems when you're looking for the best and you're just kind of getting mediocre, So,
yeah. Although, in fairness, him not being as good a doctor as he could be makes sense that he gets replaced / overdone by Bones. I mean, Bones says Doctor of the Enterprise for a very long time, way longer than this character does. So, I mean, it's maybe a good thing he's not as talented as Bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Okay,
Mm.
cool. Let's see where my number 8 falls then.
Yes.
My number 8 is close enough to you to count number 1.
Ooh.
So almost.
I thought she'd be a lot higher on your list.
Aha. I thought on your
I
list.
love when you surprise me.
I thought it should be like number 4 on your list, I'll be honest. Where would you have guessed it would be on my list?
Probably number 4 or number 3.
Well, high five for being totally wrong with each other, but in the same way. Yeah, this one's a really, really confusing one. I thought I was going to go in with her being higher, but I just couldn't. As I'm sure you felt the same. There is sometimes the problem when you go from special guest star to lead, where the concept of the character, to stretch them in a way, removes what gave them the spark.
Mm-hmm.
And we all liked her from the cage. And I remember we talked about the character, you said, like a living computer, very smart, very capable. In Discovery, she comes on as a sort of minimalistic, yet clearly snazzy, talented officer.
By the book.
Well, yes. Yeah. In this show, she's not that smart, like a supercomputer. She hasn't got the crispness of Majel Roddenberry. She's far more formal than I was expecting already.
Mm-hmm. And
she's got an odd tone that doesn't fit what I thought she was in Discovery. So I would not have pictured this character acting like this. And while it's not bad in any way, it doesn't reflect, to me, the core of who that character is, which made her specifically unique, and unique within a very specifically small screen time. So I see this character, I say, you're just a lady in Starfleet who's a good second in command. I don't see a number 1 vibe, and definitely not as smart as she was. So I'm kind of confused as to the function of the character. We've got Spock, who is clearly getting all the screen time with Pike. Second in commands of ships aren't given much to do. You know, Riker got short end of stick because when you break it down, in TNG, a counselor and a second in command have little to do that aren't very interpersonal. So unless you have interpersonal stories, they're left out. Or Riker, orders, Captain, full impulse. Full impulse, helm. And your job was to relay the guy sitting next to you to the guy sitting in front of you. That was your line for the week. So not that it's the same exact parallel here, but there's shades of that. And just of all of them, I'm just like, I don't think she's working. Not for lack of talent, just I don't know if they know what they want to do with her. Now they've radically shifted the character, fine, it'll go in a different direction. But do I want her to be an alien with a really dark past, gently? I don't know if I want that. Who knows, we'll get there. But it's a I don't know, what do you think about all, I sort of spewed a lot of stuff there, but those are kind of why I put her there. What do you think?
No, I'm feeling what you're saying, for sure. Also the fact that it kind of made her a superhero now, in a way.
That is true. No, that is true.
It kind of makes it a little worse for me, because it's like, so that, great prowess you had in the cage, and,
that is true.
That crispness, needing to prove yourself, being very,
yep,
on point with your job, that was all just because, A, you're genetically modified and more intelligent, and B, you just want to fit in and do the best you can in Starfleet, because that was your goal, just to get into Starfleet and explore the stars. Cool if you're driven, that's great, but the fact that she's driven for that reason, and because she's genetically enhanced, it just kind of bothers me a little bit. It's one of the other reasons I guess she's so low on my list. But as for being a first officer, you got to remember TOS is a different command structure than in TNG. Because, Spock was first officer with Kirk, but he was also the science officer as well. Like, they have multiple positions. Like, what does she do? She was sitting at, the tactical station. So is she tactical / first officer? There's still a lot of clarification.
That is true. What does she do?
Yeah. There's no official first officer that sits beside the captain and, basically takes care of the ship. It's not the same command structure as in TNG. So what does she do on the ship? And, what is her relationship with Pike going to be? Because it seems like we got captain, we got number 1, a floater, I guess. We got Spock, who's still on science. But the TOS is a different world, a different structure as far as the command hierarchy goes. So it's going to be interesting to see where she fits. I don't know what she does yet. It's another reason it's kind of like up in the air. So yeah, that's kind of I agree with a lot of your points there for sure. But yeah, I really thought she'd be higher on your list. I really did. I don't know why.
Just not grabbing me. And again, to reiterate, not a negative list, just of those on the lower end of the interest scale.
Yeah.
And even because she's not connecting deliberately with the rest of the crew, she's not even getting those scenes. She will, I'm sure, but because all the stuff's doing with Pike and Spock, which is very logical, she's being given anybody could do it job.
Yeah. Plus, she's got the Wonder Twins situation with her and Lon. They got a connection, and it just happens that they're both also enhanced, if you will. It seems like they're kind of outcasting her a little bit, and I got the feeling from the cage that she was a little bit of an outcast, because of her intelligence and her drive, she just didn't get close to anybody.
As well for this show.
Yeah. So
and Chuck asks, besides the main crew of 8, are we just including Enterprise crew? No, but they're most Enterprise crew. We've got 11 to choose from.
Yeah. And guys, 75 people here, 58 likes. Hit that like button. Let's get to 75 likes. We need some super chats, so if you guys can super chat.
That's how we pay our rent.
Yeah. So if we're entertaining you or you have anything to say, we do read them all on the air and discuss your points as well. So if you have anything to contribute, please consider super chatting.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, nice surprise one for you then. You're number 7?
My number 7, yes.
Full of surprises today, so let's see where you are.
Kyle, actually.
Oh my god.
Surprised she's above these other ones, actually, now. Jesus. He seems really likable and fun. He seems like he's probably an enlisted personnel as well with a different uniform. But he's got quite a bit of screen time so far. And he's young, he's enthusiastic, and he seems very competent at his job. So it's funny that he's higher than like number 1 and stuff on my list now that I've thought about it, but I really like the character. He's really kind of shone through in the episodes or the moments that he's in, and I'm sure that he's going to be included a little more, unless he's going to be like Billy Blackwood from TOS. Like Billy was in every episode pretty much. He was on the bridge most of the time. He was always like unnamed crewman. He also played like a lot of aliens and stuff. So every time, it's like a game with me and Sylvia. Whenever we watch TOS, it's like Billy. Could you see him in a hallway, or you see him beside Sulu a lot on the bridge. I'd be pissed if I was Billy Blackburn and wasn't in the movies and not, he was in like almost every episode of TOS. Anyway, I think this guy's going to be like that, and I don't know. I don't know if they're going to flesh out his character. I think he's going to be more of a tertiary character, but it'd be interesting to see more of him. I don't know. He's just impressed me over the course of the 3 episodes every time I've seen him, and I just thought he'd be set dressing. He's more impressive to me than Mayweather in Enterprise so far.
Oof.
So that says a lot.
Yeah, and also this is a different Kyle to the white guy in TOS, because
yes.
Why would you think they're the same?
Yeah.
2 Kyles, 2 Transformer Chiefs. It's fine. No,
common enough name.
Yeah, no, he seems nice. I won't reveal where he's on my list, but it's as with all his roles, it's the fact they have used a transporter each week allows him to have screen time, but he, of all the cast, and this is specific, I would say, just barely, he feels like he's having the most surreal fun being on set. Because he knows he's a bit player, and so every line, kind of like number 1, in the cage to some extent, he's like just every line giving it his all. Uhura, sorry, the original example, kind of going for it full on. You can still sense that, having fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now everyone else are also having fun, but they have a lot more depth. They know where the character's going. They're doing more with it, so they can present more layers. He's just going for it, and you can kind of feel that. Plus, his uniform actually is growing on me. I didn't like it originally, but it's growing on me.
Yeah. Anthony Keane throws in €5.
Boom,
Thank you so much. Number 1 was Chief Engineer in the Cage. Number 1 was chief engineer in the cage. Was she not?
I wouldn't have just assigned to it. Well, but would you go from engineering to command track? I've never heard that before.
I have no idea. She was the one that went down with the big laser or the big phaser cannon.
That's a really interesting. I don't remember that at all. Let's have a look.
I'm not 100% sure with that. Good question, Anthony Keene. Yeah, Memory Alpha says that this is a different Kyle than the TOS one, yeah. So I don't know
Just
where
because
people
one's white, one's Asian, so they can't be the same, although.
Well. Yeah, April. Anyway. 95 people watching, 65 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to get up to at least 75 or 80 likes, and super chats with your thoughts on our selections and your thoughts on. Well, we'll get to the top 3. You guys can kind of super chat in with your top 3. Would be awesome. Her background is engineering, I believe, says Jose.
I can't find anything on this.
Things that make you go,
Yeah. I certainly didn't get that vibe from the episode.
I didn't either. No. Number 1 was a command badge.
Well, she was second in command, so she would do.
Yeah.
But, because Riker was a pilot, so obviously he went one track then. Okay, Kyle, cool. Kyle 2, I should say. Alright, well my number
7
is April, who's our other curveball character. So this he has a really interesting balance between know-it-all and know-nothing, in that obviously he's only in one episode, only 7 scenes, but he both has a lot of experience behind every word, which you can feel, but also he's been thrown in these very specific situations where he is the odd one out of knowledge, and he plays those both very successfully. And I think of all the people, he's the most running start, because an admiral tends to have a very distinct, like, you have to be a top level character going in. So unless you're a bad admiral, then well, hey. But I think he's the one who, if they choose to flesh out, they can do a ton with. He could be in all the types of stories. He could be on all types of ships. He could be doing any number of things. So I think he has a lot of potential, and like I said, from hitting the ground running, I think he's the most. Yeah, I think that's why. And
yeah,
I like the actor. I don't know the actor that well, but I like him from stuff I remember him from.
Yeah, I like the actor too, and I also like the character. But he just seems like.
Well, you thought you liked the character because now he's a new version of the character. Got to throw out all the old stuff you thought you liked.
No, I like everything we've seen of him on screen. Is what I mean.
Okay.
He's got that being in charge vibe for sure, and former captain of the Enterprise. That's cool. But
it's the biggest retcon for a long time.
Yeah.
As in visually.
Well, it's not a retcon. Oh, visually, yes. Yeah. I mean, he's going to be the Admiral Cornwall of the show.
Yes.
He's going to show up from time to time, and and that's fine. Like, Cornwall was actually a character that grew on me in Discovery. She was one of my favorites, actually.
And I bet actually Admiral Cornwall would be like, that literally would have been me if they'd have killed me.
Yeah.
Because it would have been. And it would have been great.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to have a carryover.
It would have been. No, I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. We haven't seen a lot, and I don't know. I like the way he deals with Chris or with Pike.
But it's funny. I think we've seen more of him in meaningful scenes than Kyle, because he's in sub scenes. This guy's had 2 distinctly big scenes to him. Like, they're close.
Only been 1 episode, so.
But more lines.
Yeah, I'd say more lines for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting, isn't it? These are hard ones. This is a genuinely hard one to go through, I think.
With only 3 episodes, it is kind of rough.
But he also might get a hell of a development episode.
Oh, he might, yeah.
So yeah, very much. Like I say, he's got a lot of potential.
Yeah. Kit 10K throws in $5 in PayPal and says, "I guess you can say number 1 is the Jackie of all trades." Instead of Jack. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, she hasn't been so far. But I would have been fine if she was kind of a, it's not a Mary Sue character, but very talented, so it's kind of odd she's been kind of the opposite. Like, what if that was a reaction to Burnham, maybe? We can't overpower, but now she can heal from any disease is a little bit redundant. And without Khan's blood either. Doesn't need Khan's blood. Just is.
Yeah. About April. Guys, still not at 75 likes. Hit that like button. We have almost 100 people here, so it should be very possible. Thank you to everyone who's super chatted so far, but we do need more, so please super chat and help us out. Hopefully this week's episode is really good, so we can have some good stuff to talk about.
But I also poll host you. I said, do you have a specific Stranger World character that is your favourite? Or, not really, it's an interesting cast. 60% vote the cast in general is cool, with 40% saying instant favourite. Interesting.
I would agree. I would say the whole cast is really good. That's why it was hard to rank these. So, but yeah. His suit looks like he could have done with a pressing.
It's not tailored. That does not look like it fits him particularly well. And the fact that the shoulder crinkles, it's like, that's not... Yeah. Come on, guys! At least give him a fitted uniform. At least the bitch admiral from season 1 of Picard. That was a very crisp.
Admiral Clancy.
Yeah, that was proper. This is a very, very loose fitting. Like that almost looks like even the gold looks like cheap metal plastic. Like, that looks like a cosplay outfit. Like, I have costumes that look that bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that was not a good day by the tailor.
Jose Rios throws in $5.
Boom,
Thanks so much, Jose. Did he become captain of the Enterprise after Archer? I read a book years ago on this character. Well, yes, but not his Enterprise, not Archer's Enterprise. There's a big gap there before the Constitution came out. So.
Yep. First, he's the one that got out of dry dock. And if you watch Star Trek First Frontier, you can see the White Admiral, White Captain April story, as it was for the last 50 years. Doing that first journey, and I was on that did the CGI for that, so I made the Enterprise.
It's a good one too.
And the remaster is going to be a ton better.
It's Angry Joe's Starfleet uniform.
Yeah, but yeah, I like him.
I do too.
Cool.
All right, so we're going on to number 6 now.
Which means we're almost at halfway, so we're going to start to get to the upper echelon now.
Yeah. My number 6 is Uhura.
Oh, okay. So that's far ahead of mine. Okay, talk to me. What's the Top Gun?
Talk to me, Goose.
Thank you. Talk to me, Goose.
It's funny, that was my nickname from my brothers when I was young, too. Anyway, no, I wasn't sure I was going to like her, but she's very upbeat, very smiley, very friendly, very good actress. She's going to bring a lot to the role, I think, and it'd be nice to learn more about Uhura. I really thought she'd be like a very bland character, but so far she hasn't been. She's really kind of impressed me, and that being said, the one episode where she did make the biggest impact was very much, I kept thinking about Hoshi the whole time because it was basically the same episode, but a lot of potential to learn more about Uhura and see how that leads into Nichelle Nichols. Well, Nichelle Nichols invented the character, but you know what I mean. It's going to be interesting to see how you can learn more about the character from this lady. Like, she seems really nice, and I saw her on stage in Chicago, and she is just a ray of sunshine. She's just an amazing person. So, and honestly, going into it, I was like underwhelmed with her, and I think meeting people in person or seeing them really does kind of bias me a little bit. She seems like somebody that's going to really put everything she can into this role and have a good time with it. I don't know. That's why she's number 6. I don't even know why. I just really like her. So I'm looking forward to learning more about Uhura through her. So
fun. Yeah, it just seems very plain to me.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. Yeah.
Snoopy McQueen, $5.
Thank you so
I
much.
thought Pike would be my favorite, but Ethan Peck's Spock is outrunning Theme
Ooh.
all as my favorite.
Interesting.
Nice.
I mean, I don't
Eric,
think Spock's not going to be high on the list unless, Stuart hates TOS again this week.
yes, this is true. Uh, Eric Skelton, $5.
Thank you.
I like that the transporter has become a unique character. The new power sounds, the effects it makes when something interferes with beaming. I've been impressed with the transporter room and stuff actually myself, but
I still wish the room was different, but the effect is glorious and the sound is glorious. Like the way they're using it is very nice. I just wish the room didn't have the extra. And basically, Kurtzman went for an outer bridge corridor to an outer transporter corridor, which has no purpose so far.
yeah.
Dear me. Oh, Kit has a PayPal super chat.
Oh yes, $5. Maybe April likes having his uniform with a loose fit.
He's the admiral.
Could be.
He's the boss.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Interesting. My number 6 then. I'm really having hard to remember these things. Let's see what I said.
I don't remember mine.
Ortegas. No. Yes. Ortegas number 6. Because, and for me, this is I've started getting ones actually like versus lower on my list. So I'd say the first 4 I have. I think she's the first one. I'm like, you know what? I actually think she's brought something special to the role. Now she has had the least to do overall. Yet, in many of her scenes, she's brought the most character to the fewest lines. Ooh, I don't, well, she's not on your list. Yes, she might be your number 11. But if she's not your number 11, then you obviously agree with me to some extent there. And that's really interesting. She isn't just a the stereotypical version of, I don't know what the name was, but from Aliens with the similar Hispanic strong woman vibe who's almost hive masculinized. That's a stereotype that's in multiple genres and features. This person does not represent that, which is great. Doing her own thing, charting her own course. I have yet to go as braggy in character based dynamic with having her name her own maneuver. I have not yet to have Keeley do that. I haven't done that yet. I thought that was a bit too braggy. I've considered it once, but I didn't do it. But it kind of worked in context, and she did look not ashamed, but you want to see that. So there's a nice humbleness despite the arrogance, but it's in a nice measure so far. So I think this character has, when we see her shine, and I hope is more than just the fairy tale episode, because that I'm not as thematically not looking forward to. But I hope there's a really good, maybe on a shuttle, maybe on a smaller ship. I really want to see that one. I'm especially looking forward to. I think because I think giving her the spotlight, she just will pull nuance out of lines and just a fun that only she can do. So I think because I see a lot of raw potential and credit with lower lines, great view, she's there on my list. So yeah. Doing good so far.
Yeah, she's really impressed me so far. I'll have more to say about her soon. She's on my list at some point.
Yes.
Where is the question? Kit sent in $10 to PayPal.
Thank you.
It says if Stuart hates TOS, then maybe I shouldn't have sent him his TOS USS Foley then. Yeah. I don't hate TOS, and the Foley class is over there.
She's a cross between Lamar and Alara from Orville. Ooh. Yeah, she is actually a lot like Lamar. That's a good shout, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine they saw Orville and thought, damn, their character's all good from the get-go.
So we need an Alira, we need a...
Yep.
Yeah.
You are right, though, and Lamar was the pilot. That's... Yep. Well, one of the pilots. According to the pilot.
Yeah.
Fun.
Now... A lot of people have complained about her hairstyle and stuff. Does that bother you at all, or do you think that's fine?
I have zero thoughts. I mean, if it was like, oh, she's not been in it enough for me to see her hair and think about it too much. Like if she was buzz cut to like a line here, I'd be like, well, that's weird. Like, I mean, like the person we're filming with today has a sort of buzz size. It's a bit non-conventional, but not by a lot. It's like, I mean, it's.
Yeah, it's hair. It doesn't bother me really.
Like, it sort of suits her. Like, it doesn't make her look great, but she's working in the office. It's not her main objective. But yeah. I mean, I no problem specifically. And like I say, just the most raw potential for what we've seen. And also not obnoxious in the way I thought she might have been. I think that's also winning her points. You know, like Uhura, expectations, and she's not necessarily reaching them. And this is like, she could have been like, yeah.
Yeah, going into it, I thought she was going to be a lot like Vasquez from like Aliens, like that kind of rough attitude. And I'm glad she's not. She's more of a fun-loving kind of. Whereas that Lon has kind of taken on that role of Vasquez, like gruffiness, which I'm not the biggest fan of necessarily.
But she has the youth that makes her feel more like a stern Alara.
Yeah.
Oh, girl gamer. Give her a nose wrinkle, she'd be perfect Bajoran. Yes, she would. She's a very Kira-esque, but without being a born in the wild terrorist.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go.
All right, here we go. Time to stir the pot. Number 5, Spock.
Spock.
It's only number 5.
Only number 5.
I looked at it like this. Spock, we all know the character. He's got a long history, a long legacy. A lot of people are just banking on like, I like Spock because of Spock, right? If this was a new character, from what we've seen so far, this is where he'd be on my list. I didn't want to put the legacy behind him. Ethan Peck has done a fine job with the character, and much better than Zachary Quinto, in my opinion. But definitely keeping that Spock vibe. But that's because we know Spock in and out. There's been so many people that have portrayed Spock, plus Leonard Nimoy, for 50 plus years. There's a lot of baggage that comes along with that, and he's kind of filling that role very well. Like, he's doing a fantastic job. But I took myself out of that mindset for this one because we already know so much about Spock. We know where his character goes. We know what his character does. We know what he becomes. So there's no excitement there for me. Like, yes, you can play a little bit younger Spock, fill in those gaps between the cage and TOS, fine. And he's doing that very well. He's got that young Spock vibe. But as a new character, assuming this was a new show, he wouldn't be very high on my list yet. There's more potential in some of the other characters. There's so much known about Spock and that legacy that's attached to him that it's just like, okay, you're just there because you need to be there. Fine. I'm more focused on everybody else because you can learn so much more about them. Spock, all they're going to do is retroactively maybe harm the character, like Discovery's done. So that's why he's number 5. He's a fantastic actor, and he's doing a fantastic job with Spock. Don't get me wrong. But I didn't want to have, like, him number 2, like super high, because I think other people kind of deserve that slot for this show. Because he's going to do good no matter what. He's a great actor. He's got a great character to work with. And he's already got the mannerisms and stuff that he has to do as Spock. So it's like he's got the one of the hardest jobs to live up to Leonard Nimoy, but yet one of the easiest jobs because he's got everything set in stone, a whole history of a character and a future of a character that he has for groundwork. So one of the hardest jobs, yet one of the easiest jobs on the show, in my opinion. So I put him in the middle. Boom, number 5.
That's a very mature rationale.
Aw, thanks.
He's a really tricky one. He really is. And there's all kind of caveat characters as well, these legacies, because it almost feels like a waste to utilize him to his fullest, because he is one of the most defined characters in all of Star Trek. So to give him half an episode fully, you're not letting the other characters grow. And Ethan is handling the mantle well, but I wouldn't say he's bringing anything particularly new to the role, which is also arguably not what you want, but he's also not doing as well as Nimoy. So he's in that middle ground. Quinto was doing different things. So he was bringing something new, just not something I wanted to see, but it was new. That said, his scenes with T'Pring were excellent, so they've already developed that. I think if it was pure on episode 1, he'd be higher on your list, I would assume, as well, because the T'Pring stuff was really vibrant. But now you've averaged it out over the 3, and certainly the last one, he was as close to a background player as you can get last week.
He was Mr. Exposition last week.
He was Riker in season 7.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
I put a lot of thought into this one. I didn't want him,
Yeah.
to be the obvious second choice.
Anton, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not saying I agree with you, because clearly I don't. Unless I do, we'll see. Yeah. I've got reasons for my main 5.
Oh, for sure. Kit 10K sent $10 to PayPal saying, "Okay, guys, I am not double dog daring you. I am quadruple dog daring you to super chat. Come on, guys, bring it." Yeah, nobody's super chatting. Hit that like, though. We're at 107 people with 84 likes. Let's get to 100 likes.
Yeah.
If you haven't hit the like button, just hit it. We really appreciate it. Super chats are definitely needed, so if you guys can, please do.
Yeah,
we want to read your super chats and discuss them.
We have a minimum we like to raise so we know we can keep going on the channel, and sad when we don't.
But not every day can be fine, which is...
No.
We'll see how it goes.
Yes, indeed. Okay, Spock is out, officially. Will he be on my 5, 4, 3, 2? Let's see, my number 5 is... Dr. Mbenga, who is quite a bit higher. What was he on yours? 7. So 7 to 5. This one was interesting, because I remember you liking him more, so I thought he would remain.
He was number 8 on mine. 8.
There we go. 7. Wow. So I envisioned to be higher on your list. And I was going to have to fight this one and be like, well, he's only this high on my list. Not the case. I was quite surprised. I think his acting is... He has the advantage of having really a big episode of himself last week. Obviously helps. I think his acting has been the most differently interesting to the character.
Laid back and reined in almost. No matter what's happening, he's like,
yes.
I'm Mr. Cool.
Exactly. He's doing something genuinely different and acting well, to the detriment of his understandability. But then, we also had this in season 1 for the Klingons. And so, compared to that, we are perfectly understandable for Klingons. So hey, compared to that, he's doing well. And that is only last week when I was only about 4 lines, 5 lines. It's a character where they can do absolutely everything and get nothing at the same time. But I'm so excited to see the fall.
Yeah.
I do think the daughter thing...
Set him up, put him down.
I do think daughter stuff does lop him into a box of cliche. However, I can't imagine... I said this about Picard being in the past for so long, so my can't imagine DAR has been low so far, or recently. But I can't imagine that'll be super focused on because there's no solution to it. And so just seeing him go back to every week and read a new story is boring as all hell. And there's nothing there to go. So I assume she's in the back of our minds character rather than actually in the foreground. So I'm excited to see him do some medical, but I didn't honestly not consider until you said your list that Chapel solved the problems. He's done nothing so far. That didn't occur to me when doing this, and I had an interesting revelation. It may have changed on my list, but obviously we're a bit locked in now, so I'll give you big props for noticing that. I didn't cross my mind. But I think he would be an easier character to say he's distinct and truly unique out of the rest, because Ortegas is very much the, strong, jazzy, going against the rules, but in a fun way. A lot of those characters fall in that similar category. He is different. So I think more for his unique vibe that he's higher on the list. I don't know where they can take him necessarily, except downwards.
To Vulcan.
Oh yeah, well, exactly. But you know what? I think because he was low on my thoughts originally based on the trailer. I think because he was higher on yours, he's lower. He was lower on mine, he's higher. I think that's really the way it's gone. Expectations have been subverted. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
Matt Deckard, $2. This is better than the Depp trial. Question is, which one of us is Amber Heard? Which one's more
Objection.
entertaining?
Objection. Without.
Are you objecting to your number 5?
No, I'm objecting to
own
your
list?
supposition of my. God, what do they keep saying? Oh, I can't remember.
It's ridiculous.
How much of that have you watched?
I just see the little clips and snippets from TikTok that people post.
Right.
It's kind of a waste of time and money and people, and I don't know why they're doing it. Who cares?
I've watched about 26 hours of it so far.
Wow. One person's clearly in the wrong. The other one's just
an
awesome human being.
I found it a godsend because I edit. That's like 6 hours of sort of entertainment. It's really, really useful. I'll be honest. It's really helped. So it's almost an entire full. Can you imagine those being still, being Johnny or being Amber, and having to sit and just listen and very much not say anything for 8 hours at a time when they're dissecting your life.
Some of your worst moments.
Yeah, and there's no nice moments happening, really, is there? But I've watched pretty much the entire thing. I go through phases of I can stomach it and I do not want to think about it as like a day to watch. But when I watch it, I watch the entire day pretty much. I mean, it's interesting to see. You know, it's a live soap opera. Meandering, yeah.
Yeah. The Grim Reaper, $8 Australian.
Cody.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. But you can for Stuart is what he's implying.
The Grim Reaper, $8 Australian.
Thank you.
This is my top 5. 5 Uhura, 4 Spock, 3 Ortegas, 2 Pike, 1 Chapel.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun.
Well, some of those are yet to come, so interesting.
Yeah.
NZ Fade, 9% appeal on Johnny's side. Do we dare do? Oh, if we do a poll in the chat.
At least Johnny can act. Like,
should we do a
my
poll?
dog got bit by a bee.
Let's do a poll for 9 minutes. Okay.
Do it.
Well, a few times we get political.
Yeah. Not really political, but yeah, I feel what you're saying. So your number 5 is Mbenga, mine is Spock. That's interesting. Okay. 92 likes, guys. I want another 8 likes to get up to 100 likes.
Oh yeah.
Keep the super chat coming.
I mean, at least 50 more, because that'll get us to our under minimum, but at least help.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your number.
Yeah, we're coming into our top 4 now. This is exciting. So my number 4 is Ortegas.
Okay. So close to mine.
She is really impressed. Yeah, she has really impressed the shit out of me. I didn't think I was going to like this character from all the trailers and going into it. But, you know, she's been in the command chair. She's been like, why does this always happen when I'm in the chair? She's got some really funny lines. She's very relatable. She kind of has my sense of humor and some of the smart-ass things that I would say. And she's got the most potential, I think, for character development and growth almost. Almost. She's a new character. She's a blank slate. And yet she's already kind of stood out. She's got that youthful optimism that, you know, everything's fun and exciting. And she's a great pilot. What can I say? She's got her own maneuvers, which I loved. I got a laugh out of that. So she's one that I really expected not to like going into this. And just out of the gate, she's impressed me. Every time I've seen her on screen. I'm looking forward to an episode that focuses on her and doesn't introduce like, oh, her dog died in her arms when she was 3 because her dad rode over it with the shuttle or some shit. I don't want a story that drags the character down. It'd be funny if somebody just had a really great childhood and she's excited to be in Starfleet, and the worst thing that happens to her is somebody on the crew dies that she's friends with or something like that. Like, that's the first, you know, that would be awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing where the character goes, and hopefully he has an interesting enough backstory. She seems kind of young, so it'd be interesting to find out why she joined Starfleet.
I don't know what age is vibing for me personally. I can't, like, she's kind
of coming across as like early 20s to me, like really young.
Like, I'd say early 30s. Like, she has the personal experience, but not the professional experience. That's just me. I'd say early 30s.
Let us know what you guys think, how old she is.
Yeah.
Kid 10K throws in $5 and says the Depp trial is a great cure for insomnia.
That's interesting.
there's some interesting moments. I couldn't sit through all of it for sure. Just the highlights.
Like I say, but then you don't get context, and context is interesting because then you hear the by 2 monitors helps.
So yeah, that's where she sits for me. She's number 4. She's actually higher than Spock. And there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons I put Spock where he was. Don't get me wrong. I love Ethan Peck and I love Spock, but I think for a list like this, Spock's always going to be on those top 3 for every list of favorite character. Blah blah blah. So he needed to be bumped down a bit because he's already got an established history and future.
Well, there's also a second thing to consider is that we were asked this a lot actually with Picard. Would this be a good show if it wasn't called Star Trek? Or are we only watching it because it's Star Trek? And yes, we're only watching it because it's Star Trek. Let's be honest. Is that same logic? Is Spock good because just Star Trek, but luckily has been better, but not exceptional? So the logic was perfectly valid. I disagree with that at all. Yeah. Oh wow, yeah. Mr. Anderson says the actress portraying Ortegas is 36, so that's right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I thought I get a younger vibe from her for sure. So.
Yeah, which is appreciatively timid which is nice for it tapers the arrogance vibe which comes across with, which is super important for that sort of character.
Yeah.
All right, my number 4 then. Vote in the poll. Yes.
Go vote in our poll.
My number 4 is though Spock.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm not far off your well, very not far off, Stuart. And in fact, was my 5? Was my 5? Okay, no, so a little bit rearranged. Yeah. Also tricky because let's be honest, he hasn't done much. He was good in the first episode, but not great. This last episode, he was not even there. And the second episode did do more, but I can't remember the episode very much. I don't know why.
That's the music one.
I know.
That's where he gave pep talk to Uhura.
Oh yeah, but he was playing like second or third fiddle in the episode, so he didn't stand out in his own right because he's younger. He's allowed to. He's meant to. Yeah, I don't know. It's. I think again, same syndrome. He was the Spock guest star on Discovery, so he had a lot more of a personal presence. This Spock is far more background in his vibe. Ethan's doing a good job. I wouldn't say he's necessarily channeling Nimoy. I think he's channeling more Spock than Nimoy. Does that make sense? Like he's missing the nuances of Nimoy's performance because he was very nuanced, but he's grabbing more of the base characterisms, which is good. But I just don't think they haven't. He's been too by the book. And just, I guess, too in keeping, which is not a complaint. That's why he's number 4, which is a high number. They sound like complaints. He's number 4. That's winning. That's a
Samuel hates TOS and he hates Spock.
Just Spock. Just Spock.
Vulcans.
Just Vulcans. Just Vulcans and Bajorans and Spock. But it's a weird one. I think, like I said, the T'Pring stuff he did a really good job on. That is actually the thing I was least looking forward to and more excited for, because it'll have depth, especially as her coming to Enterprise. I think it'll be very interesting as well. Something about his performance hasn't been sazzing. Now, it might be the honestly, I think you might probably agree, the slightly sour taste of last week's cameo appearance, it felt like, as well. Like, he was unmeaningfully in that one. So, of the 3, 1 is kind of write-off entirely. And if you're, in theory, one of the lead characters, if you're basically writing him off for an episode, that's not a good sign. But, again, it still makes number 4. He's still doing a good, we know he'll be good because he was good, and he really likes the role. He really likes the character. I've met him twice. Really nice guy. Really, really happy to be here, which is a nice thing to feel. And John says, I think a lot of that is the writing for Stranger World Spock. TOS Spock is very active. Yes, they're very much so. Yeah, he's but that's a fine thing. It's an interesting. I couldn't give him any higher, but I couldn't give him any lower either. I think that's kind of my summation. Hard one to decide with. Yeah, but you said it very well, Stuart. All credit for analysis.
Thank you. Put a lot of thought into that one because I knew people would be bitchy.
I'm only one away, Stuart,
Snoopy.
so they go
I know.
1/5 more bitchy with me.
Snoopy McQueen, $2. Spock was in the background in the cage. Pretty much, yeah. The women. He yelled a lot in the cage. 3 likes away from 100, guys. Hit that like button. Keep the super chats coming. So thank you to everybody that super chatted. Anybody wants to join the channel, click that join button and maybe become a member. That makes a big deal to the analytics and to us on a monthly basis. So if you can, please do. So now we're going into our top 3. Gold, silver, and bronze. Dun, dun,
Are they the same 3? I don't know. I won't think about it too hard because that'll spoil it. All right.
I don't think it will be. Number 1 might be the same, but we'll see.
Your number 3 then, Stuart, is...
My number 3 is Hammer.
Ah, yes. My number 9.
Yeah. This shouldn't really come as a shock. I like these kind of characters, these gruff, ash-holes characters. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Stamets in season 1.
I wonder why you like them.
Are you saying that that's what I'm like?
I wonder why you like them.
Wow. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. No. He reminds me of the Doctor in Voyager. He reminds me of Odo from DS9. He reminds me of Stamets, season 1 Stamets, when he was an arrogant asshole before he became just a different character. And also a little bit of Lorca. I'm looking forward to learning a lot more about this guy. And I think the actor who's doing him is awesome. Just that gruff kind of vibe to him. Again, super lots of potential with this character. I want to know why he's got antennae that are essentially paralyzed. They're going for the TOS vibe of non-moving antenna. Kind of wish there was a little bit of nuance with them, but they're always the same. Wish there was a little bit of movement, not maybe as much as like Shran, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to having a Hemmer-based story, and maybe it'll ruin the character for me. I doubt it will, though. It seems to be one of those characters that is going to definitely come across as gruff very often, but be like have a heart of gold and be a big teddy bear. Because I wonder why. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's why he's number 3 for me. I'm just looking forward to learning a lot more about this character, and what we've seen so far has impressed me. He's got the technical know-how. If he can beam up out of the planet's core through an ion storm, I mean, hey. And the fact he states he's a genius, I love that, because I find that hilarious. Maybe he doesn't actually think he's a genius. That's why he says it, so that people, I don't know, maybe he's got, self-esteem issues.
I like science.
Do you? That's good. Anyway, so yeah, Hemmer. And I thought Hemmer would be high on your list, honestly, but yeah, we haven't seen much of him yet. It is only episode 3, so I kind of get it, but...
So, would you agree with my statements with the caveat that you like that character type more, therefore higher in your ranking, but you'd agree with my points, just...
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I didn't disagree with anything you said. And to be fair, it's only episode 3, and he wasn't in episode 1. And so we haven't seen a lot of him, but what we've seen in the trailer, we've seen a few bits and pieces from upcoming episodes from him, like, his goal is to fix things that are broken, and then, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes. He's going to definitely have a very focused drive, this character, and I think he's going to be one of the likable ones that, yeah, it's going to come off gruff, but he's actually just a big softie. So.
You mean liked despite the lines they're given? Sort of liked.
Sure.
Like a fan favorite, like not like, well, I guess not like Plasky, no one liked her, but a fan favorite in that.
Yeah.
You want to hate them, but you like their candor. Well, I think he's more on the balance of being like, almost would have been more fun if he went more Stamets, you just hate him route, because then you'd like his disrespectful, hateful personality in season 1. Like they just doubled down, they didn't care about anyone liking him.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy, like the fact that he bounced himself against number one in the last episode, like that humbled him a lot in my opinion. Like, yeah, he'll say, well, yeah, no, it's not broken. Oh, I'll go check anyway, sir. Like, that's really good. That's a really, really good thing for him to do.
Yeah.
Number 3, wow. Cool. Yeah.
Matt Decker makes a good point. Oh. Hammer is expendable. Uhura is not. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely helps that we don't know, and you know, he never did anything in canon because he got invented. So that's interesting itself. You know, he can live, he can die, he can blow up, he can save the ship. Who knows? Exact opposite of Pike. Interesting. Well, my number 3, Stuart, in my list of rankings is. This is the one we shifted, Stuart. This is the one we swapped out. Can you guess?
No.
Noonien-Singh, your least gets my 3rd.
Oh, yeah.
And my
I was trying to remember who was on the list.
Yes.
When you were asking me, I'm like,
So one of them had to be shifted, and your 9 was my 3, and my 10 was your 3.
Yeah.
So this was not what I was expecting, but when I went into this, I thought, I think I liked every scene she's been in, because I think the actor is not like this in real life. And so selling me on a character from every single scene, which not everyone's doing. Like, I can buy that Hemmer's a bit gruff in real life, like he can be a bit arsehole-ish. Not a lot, but like he's pulling from himself. This I think is very much a character, which I like.
Yeah.
I think she's been given more. God, screen time is such a tricky thing. She's been giving a consistent level of something each week for me to understand more about who she is each week. It helped she was given a big boost first week, but of all the characters, I've grown to know more about her every week consecutively with a depth. Plus, I like the she could just be a hard ass. I'm too tough, I don't need painkillers, but she isn't. She has a huge vulnerability as well. She's shown both sides of the coin effectively, which is unusual for this sort of character, and helps us go from the trap of being too powerful. So she's already gone past that. And it is funny for her to shout arguments, and just it's not just silly like it's a funny line delivery. It's not meant to be a line delivery that's funny, but it is a funny line delivery. I don't know. There's a certain mystique where I think I'm more engaged by the Khan stuff than you are. Obviously, that's just a pure personal preference thing. Because they've got to have some sort of plan, otherwise it's redundant. It does create plot hole elements, obviously, but the fact that it hasn't played in really too much to her character at all yet is really interesting to me, because they've got a long play with her. I don't know. I think she's been a very capable actress in the scene she's been in, and she was really strong in the first episode. She really did a good job. That was like her episode, but I thought she did a really strong job. Not overbearing, not under the radar, really good balance, personality just coming right off there. And for being such a young officer, she feels like early 20s. Jumping in, being this Alara Ian. I like Alara a lot, so obviously I'm seeing parallels here. You know? Strong security officer that's kick-ass, although not super powered strong. We don't know the powers. I don't know, I'm just vibing with what she's laying down. I think I get what she's doing. And I thought she's doing it more in every scene. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, John McWatt says she reminds me of Christina Drummer from The Expanse, who was a character I generally liked. I absolutely despised Drummer for like most of that show. Liked her in the last season, but I'm not a fan of that character. So maybe that's why she's lower on my list. As you guys know, sometimes my personal bias characters. So.
What do you think of my breakdown though?
I like the whole selling of the character for you, because she thinks she's probably a really nice person in real life. So for her to actually act, and just do a fantastic job. And it's interesting. And
I also I think Mbenga's the same. I don't think he's that chill in real life, but I think he probably I feel that's more of an act, but also I don't know, it's both.
Yeah.
Where's this actress even?
Well, Geraldine Karstensen is here with $20, so thank you so much.
Current super chat
Um,
powerhouse right there.
yes, that's the winning super chat of the day so far. So thank you so much.
Indeed.
Just got here. The poll confuses my brain. Love the character development and this whole show. So we were just talking about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. That's why the poll's there
For like 2 minutes. Oh wow, that is shocking. This actress is 38.
Holy shit, she seems younger than that.
That is not the energy she gives off. She gives off to me the young end of the team. Wow, she is aging phenomenally well and can act really fresh and young. Damn, good job her. Well, 83. Wow, good job.
She's the same age as Sylvia. Hamza.
Gosh, different genes. Wow.
Hamza says, "I'm very behind. Is the Enterprise not the flagship?" No, it's not. Not at this point. It's one of the flagship ships. It's one of the most impressive ships in the fleet.
On the pinnacle,
but it's not the flagship. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think Lon is probably going to grow on me. Like I said, she's already impressed me in that way because I went in expecting not to like her, and she's in 3 episodes. She's really impressed me. So that's hard to do, honestly. So we'll see. We'll see how it is by the end of the season where she sits and what they do with her story. Her story and the baggage is, I think, one of the big issues I have with her character.
I know, yeah,
and,
which is fair. I get that, and I think we both had that with Spock as well, to a different degree. I think Uhura, since she was my Uhura, but I think she's done way more with the screen time than Uhura has. Personally.
Yes. Well, yeah, I guess I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Okay, interesting. So, we're on to Silver. Well, who do you guys... What do you guys think? Who's going to be our top 2? Vote now!
Forever hold your peace.
Yes. And we still need another $35 if we can, if not 40.
Yeah, 40 would be good, but obviously we need more than that, but 40 at least. So, Snoopy McQueen, $5.
Boom.
Doctor, least favorite, does not look like original actor and hard to understand.
Well, the beard was a choice. I probably wouldn't have gone with beard if I was going to look like the actor.
Yeah. What was I going to do? I was going to say something. I can't remember what it was, though. Are we going straight into our Silver? Yeah, who's going to be our number 1 and number 2, guys? Let us know.
Nice to have you here sometimes. But John says his number 2 would be number 1. Ooh. John, can you say why? Because she was low on, well, medium low on both of our lists. Interesting.
Yeah, surprisingly low on both of our lists, actually.
Yeah. Well, I knew going in she'd be low on my own list. Okay, you're Silver then, Stuart. I'm eager to hear.
My number 2, or my Silver, is the silver-haired fox of the show.
Captain Pike.
Chapel.
Oh. He has some silver hair. He's a fox.
I guess he's more silver-haired than. Anyway, white hair, old, whatever. You know what I mean. Chapel is number 2. She has impressed the shit out of me in this show. She's bubbly. She's excited, attractive. It's a big component for me. So, but she is a joy to be around and to watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of her for sure. If you had told me that Chapel would ever impress me, when we only had Nurse Chapel from TOS, I would have laughed in your face and walked away, because Majel, while great, was a lackluster character at best. And I don't know, it's nice to have a nice shot of fun and excitement in the show, and a character that really, every time she comes on screen, you're just looking forward to what she's going to be saying. Again, she's still got to marry Roger Corby. There's still a lot of baggage with this character as well, which we got to see how they handle. But I mean, honestly, she's she's just great. As I say with my dreamy eyes. Oh. She's a fantastic actress.
Have you got an actor crush, Stuart?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. 100%. Yes. Looking forward to meeting her. Get my picture with her. As you know, I like to get some photos done every once in a while.
Preferably without the screens, because they're still using them, and I am not going to pay for those.
I know. That's ridiculous.
I refuse. It is not worth my money at all. Especially as I can de-age people now.
Kit 10K sent a $50 PayPal saying, just a boost to help you guys. Come on, everyone else. Don't wuss out on Trekyards. Thank you so much, Kit.
Definitely help.
Look, you guys are being lambasted by your own people. Kit's like trying to get you to rise to the challenge. Thank you, Kit. Much appreciated.
Small, Stuart. We don't have a high challenge.
I know, it's only $40. Anyway, so yeah, she's my number 2, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more from her. So
well, it was surprising she was actually my number 11. So
I disagree. She was not your number 11 at all.
Well, she's
your number 11 was Kyle. Come on, don't even try.
Look. Kyle's a sweetheart, you know. He's a really attractive young man, you know.
So you're number 1.
You got
your number 1. Kyle's Samuel's number 1. Everybody.
Well, Kyle 2, because Kyle 1 is my number 2, Stuart, is, to my surprise, Nurse Chapel as well. To my surprise, Stuart. Did not think they'd go into this list. I assumed she'd be 5 or 6. If I had to throw, I
figured that's where she'd be on your list too, but
I'm confused by this, Stuart. But I couldn't put the other people higher than her. Confusion. So I think my logic for this, and obviously you did eloquate this quite well, is that she isn't Chapel at all, right? She's not harnessing any of Chapel's personality whatsoever. None. Zip. She's a fresh character. She should have been called something else. She should have just been called Dr. Blonde Sexy. But that's just wouldn't have worked for the sentence, I don't think. Like, really not doing a good Chapel at all. But who is Chapel? So we get that. Fine. Just saying. Wouldn't call this at all Chapel. But she is... I think the last episode is what made her on this list of this part. Because last episode she had a lot of depth. Each episode she's been different. That's helped as well. First episode, she was very team playery, sciencey, very spunky in a almost obnoxious way, like a caricature. Like, okay, she'll be this character, fine. But if this is her speciality, and she's the genius, unlike Hemmer, because she designed that, which is I think what she said, then you get it. You get it. You know, I'm quite jazzy when I did the de-aging stuff. Like, well, it's a big thing I did. In the second episode, she did do something. What'd she do? What did she do in the second one?
In the second one?
Mm-hmm.
Not much.
Because they're all in them all.
First one, she changed their genetics to make them fit in. This one, she basically solved the problem.
No, she did solve the problem, yeah.
And number 2, she didn't do much. I don't think she was in the second one.
They're all in all of them. Like, even just so briefly. But this one she did good. She had a lot of humility and still fun, but she has this bounding energy and yet this willingness to also be wrong.
Yeah.
Which is good, because you want that, whatever. Interesting to see what her age is then, since we're so wrong with other people.
Go for it.
Yeah. No, she's done good.
Tom Ellerman throws in $50. Says for beer at Wonderfest. Well, Tom is going to be buying me a steak dinner at Wonderfest, he said. So thank you, Tom. I'm glad to see you again after a few years. And thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated.
That is a hell of a
Boom.
thing. Hell of a
Yes,
thing.
those are nice colors to see on our super chats.
Hell of a thing.
So,
Wow.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, she
I guess she's probably around 35, would be my guess.
She's 30.
30, wow.
She's only 1 year older than me.
You lucky dog.
Yeah, she's actually Australian. Which
Hey, I'd like to go down under. I mean, to Australia. Get your mind
So you want to go down
under
under to Jessica Bush, because that's her name. I think that's what he said. He wants to go down under to Jessica Bush's hometown of Australia. That's what I heard. Excellent. Excellent.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Yes.
Now we know. But no, she's done good. She's done good.
Knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Bush.
Yeah.
She's
a breath of fresh air, honestly, on the show, and I look forward to any scene that has her in it. Not just because she's easy on the eyes, but because she's got that bubbly personality. Like, she's always trying to lift people up. It feels like. She's very cocky. She's flirty. She's got that mischievous kind of streak in her that it's fun to watch.
It's almost a cliche though, like she's right on that boundary. So, but she deepened herself a ton in the 3rd episode. I don't mind a cliche for sure, but you want to see depth. So I'm really interested to see how they continue to ground the character into stuff we really want to see. I think that'll be. I've just looked at her Instagram briefly, and her hairstyle is normally that very almost like Ortega's, that very sort of shaved down look. So.
Oh really?
Yay for. It's much better with longer hair. Or, well, short hair but longer hair.
Yes, and Chris Rietz. We're not even 4 episodes in. But that's what we caveated this with.
Mm-hmm.
They've all had enough screen time that we thought it was worth doing, and we're going to revisit this at the end of the season and see how our lists have changed, because I'm sure they will. So.
Yeah, we've had a trilogy. 3 felt a good number.
Yeah.
Because if you're waiting for 4, it might as well wait for 5, because 5 is then a 5. But yeah, we're now $11 away from our almost medium or minimum. 61 from our actual minimum, which is actually pretty close to it. We're almost there, which will be a hell of a.
So if you guys can super chat for your number 1 slots, we'd see that.
Or even just let us know.
Just for the record. Just for the record, Trek reviewer, no. I want to say, you don't have to read the comment. Anybody?
I mean, I've liked it so far. It's a bit rude. It's number 2. Jesus, Stuart. So yeah, vote right now. Who's your favourite character in Stranger Worlds, and you'll see if it lines up with us to reveal in a moment our favourite. But there's only 11 choices, Stuart, so it's not that difficult to work out.
It's probably pretty clear what number 1 is.
Which we'll
just have a discussion.
That's fine. That's fine. Because that's fine. But I wonder what your reasons are, because I have specific reasons myself. Yeah, who's your favourite? Let us know.
Looking forward to hearing what your proposition is for a Wonderfest budget. Message me.
Okay. Interesting.
Kieran. Because then it benefits Samuel too, even though he's not going to Wonderfest.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Oh, Han. Yeah, she's very human. Yeah, that's interesting. I would also throw that in as a. Yeah, because
Which is funny that she's interested in Spock. Yeah. So
Ortega's has a sort of, well, they all have different vibes. Yeah, she's the most refreshingly human. Yeah.
So let us know, guys. Please super chat in with your number 1 with a couple of 5s, whatever you can afford would be awesome. I'd like to see a few super chat hashtag like Spike and super chat Spike. Super chat hat. I don't know.
But I'm excited for this week, because I know there's a bit, not controversy, but discussion, because the G's are back. If you want spoilers or not. That will be, I mean, we were right. Hey, high five for us.
They're all over Twitter and Facebook, so yeah. I knew it was coming, even though I haven't seen the preview.
It's still very exciting, even though it sort of is, but isn't.
Kit throws in $20. PayPal saying, Gotta wonder, with her being upbeat in Strange New Worlds, could she have dealt with something that made her become more calmer in TOS? Yeah, Roger Corby,
Yeah,
probably.
marriage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll see where this next episode goes. I'm excited for it as well.
All right, your number one favorite Strange World character after 3 episodes is
Sam Kirk, because you have to have a Kirk as number 1. No, I'm kidding. It's Chris.
Not the picture I have, Stuart. That was a lie.
It's Pike. It's Pike.
Pike, Christopher Pike, Captain Christopher Pike. Excellent.
Which is your number 1 as well. So we might as well
My number 1 is
this point.
same picture. Yes.
Yeah.
Why though?
Anson Mount is an amazing actor and a genuinely nice guy, and he has brought something to the character of Pike that is the foundation of this entire show. It's one of the reasons that the show even exists. And again, learning more about Pike is awesome. I didn't know I wanted to see more Pike necessarily back in the day. Now I'm like excited to see where it goes, and he brings a friendliness and a warmth. His crew, his relationship with his crew is very friendly. I'm sure if somebody disappoints him or upsets him, he can be a hard ass, but he's got a very friendly vibe to him. They're like a family on the bridge, and he's just impressed me every time I've seen him in the role. The smile he gives when Uhura comes to the door dressed in that her dress uniform is just so friendly and inviting. It's like, this is somebody that I'd want to hang out with and definitely serve under, because you know that he'd know everything about you, and he's not detached like Picard is. He's not as detached as even Kirk is. Kirk knows the names of his crew, but I don't feel like Kirk would be making them barbecue necessarily. He'd make barbecue for his command staff and whatever, but not necessarily the new cadet that just came on board. I think he'd keep the new cadet at a distance. You should be a little bit afraid of me. Don't want everybody to think I'm human, kind of thing. So, but Pike is very probably in the transporter room welcoming you on board. I read your file and walk you to your quarters. He gives off that kind of vibe, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing if he can change his fate, change his destiny. So,
well, Stuart, our fate is what we make for ourselves. As you know.
Oh yeah, I've heard that somewhere.
Well, it depends which timeline, obviously. Then that saying radically changes depending which timeline they cover. Yeah, see, it's interesting. Well, no, you can jump the super chats before I jump into mine. So we're almost there, Stuart. We're almost there. It's exciting.
It is exciting. Thank you guys for super chatting. The Grim Reaper throws in $8 Australian. He's down under. Lucky bastard. It's stated Chapel is a civilian, so why does she have rank on her uniform? In this picture, that's a good question.
Yeah, that's a pure blunder on there. She should be in a unique uniform that is not there. I agree entirely. That is a mistake.
Yep. Yep. Do you consider Anson Mount's Pike to be the definitive version of the character at this point? Sadly, yes. It's a shame, that it's kind of taken away from the original Pike, but it's also adding to the lore, and you can, picture the other, what the hell is his name? Jeffrey Hunter. Picture him doing these things as well if you want, but yeah, he's the definitive Pike. The JJ films. I think he did a fantastic job in those as well. He's just a likable character overall, except for in the cage where he's kind of an asshole. I don't know. Yeah, but I'd say he's the definitive Pike. So,
I mean, the pure fact that he's had 10 times the screen time does help.
Thoughts?
Just by definition of time and effort.
More than 10 times the screen time.
Yeah, so that I do think the The fact that Jeffrey Hunter managed to create so much raw command presence in as little as time as he had is very impressive. That's all down to him as an actor. This Pike also has huge command presence. It's in a very different way, very different style, and you wouldn't really call them comparable, but there's reasons for that in Discovery, etc., etc. So, not comparable directly, and obviously the guy in JJ was fun. He was fine, he was nice, he was good. No complaints. It wasn't as standoutish, although in the grand scope of Trek, but in those films it did stand out because they were all so bad. So, that was the irony. Yeah, for me, Pike's an interesting one because it is also the factor of most screen time and development. But he's not being burdened with the socialness of today. He's living his best life without the ness of all the other stuff. Like, you want to watch TV for escapism and for interesting stories, and the fact that he in the first episode was able to flawlessly bring about that original TOS energy of fresh exploration, along with weight of the command, along with let's help others, but on a preaching way, was very, very well handled. It's the writers, not him, but he would deliver those depths. Last week, obviously, meaningless, non-character, fine, cameo, whatever. But the middle one, really nice. Far he tried to push the communication angle is always impressive when captains can go that extra mile. So he's never really shied from that high quality, and when you have more screen time and just a highly quality character, he's going to win out. Just sort of by default, but he earned it also at the same time. So it's a chicken and egg of he sort of already was the best character, but he's also lived up to it. So that is the big success story, I think, of this Pike. So yeah, good job.
Yeah, he's very charismatic, and the fact too, I saw him in Hell on Wheels, so I mean, got the whole Cullen Bohannon vibe behind him as well, for me anyway. And yeah, I like the guy. As much as I don't think he understands Trek fandom yet. I've seen him at like 2 conventions now, and he just doesn't. His stage presence isn't conducive to a convention setting, I find, sadly. But I think he'll get it. He'll learn it. He'll learn what the gestalt that is Star Trek and learn to fit in. Because he's set now.
Because he was like my Tim Russ for you. I met him very disappointed by his ness. Let me down personality-wise. Nothing like Pike. But that means he's a good actor. Now, because I said to you before, he's an actor's actor. He's doing it for the job, for the work, proud, but he won't do the stuff around it as much. Now that he's fully committed, he's doing more of the extra stuff because he has to. And he's embracing it more. Yeah. But he's, when he came in, not knowing he's going to get a show, he's like, I'm here to do a job, guys. Thanks for the applause, but my next job's next week. Then he's offered a full-time gig. But, most actors are working actors. But then you get people like Kevin Smith or David Blue from Stargate who are like, well, we're fans, we're geeks who come with a different energy. But, he might be having a bad day with me, etc. Or me, just the people in general. But, yeah, he's just a working man actor. He's not a Trekkie in any way.
Gotta embrace the fans a bit.
Well, he embraces their money.
Yes, but the first, I mean, like, play into things to a certain degree. Like, you're kind of a sex symbol almost. The first time I saw him on stage, one of the fans asked him, "I'd really love to come up and give you a hug, whatever." He's like, "Well, I'm married. I don't think my wife would approve of that." It's like, what? Like, did you just have a fight with her? Maybe. Like, I get it, but at the same time,
maybe he's also somewhat like Patrick Stewart in that he came in as a serious thespian, and it's like, yeah, you need to be a bit more flexible on that, and so he's having to learn the hard way, as it were, that it's more than just. Hopefully, because I imagine if we'd met Patrick Stewart at conventions in the first few years of TNG, he would also not be the most,
Well, yeah, exactly.
So I don't judge people in that way, but I certainly was not impressed by him personally. But that shows how strong his character is if he can impress so much
And Kieran says, yeah, Stewart was reticent in conventions initially until he realized how big it all was. Yeah.
I mean, like
That's
I said,
the thing. Once you're hitched to Star Trek, your career is pretty much
over.
You're gonna have income
But
from conventions and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta do a lot of traveling, but you're always kind of set.
If you need an extra 5,000 that year, just do 2 cons.
Yeah.
Do 1 con.
Yep.
You want to remortgage? You want to get a new car? Just do 3 cons.
Yeah.
Like yeah. But yeah. Cool.
Cool. Well, I was not surprised. I figured Pike might be your number one. But I'm surprised about some of the other ones on the list.
Yeah, me with these as well. Yeah. I was almost wondering you're going to curveball and make Chapel your number one just for pure factor.
I almost did as a joke, but I couldn't. I couldn't in all.
Exactly.
She didn't even have the number one slot from the beginning. It was Pike. Right away, I'm like, well, he's number one. Boom. Then I started doing the rest.
Yep. That was my vibe as well. I'll be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely it speaks a lot to his character and to the actor that he's the lead of the show and he's our number one, character. So that's good.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Do you guys agree? Do you not agree? And I'll ask a brief another poll, but I did ask you though. Are you Johnny or Amber? 82% Johnny. Not even close.
Yeah, shouldn't be close. There's clearly right and wrong. It's just that simple. But anyway, I wonder if Pike is used to women on the bridge yet. I'm thinking.
Yes, I did notice in the last episode that when number one came onto the bridge, there was 1 man, 4 women, so it was a 5-woman bridge. Like everyone was a lady.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So guys, let us know what you thought about your if possible. So if you're able to, please do that. 40 is not out of the realm of possibility.
Mm-hmm. But a fun little discussion, Stuart. Fun little discussion.
Well, it'll be fun to go back and do this at the end of the season and redo the list and kind of compare them. I'll keep this list in my folder here and we'll redo it. And see if anything's changed. Because if we get like a Hammer-centric episode or whatever, it might bump him up for you or whatever.
And if non-story works and makes sense, I'm sure she'll instantly bump up on yours.
Yeah. She's already impressed me, like I said. So the only one that I didn't get on the list was April, and it's just because he was in like 1 episode. And yeah, I like the guy. I just couldn't in good conscience put him on the list.
I couldn't in good conscience put.
And yet Kyle got on the list.
Exactly. That was my. Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't in good conscience give Kyle.
I just like him. I like his attitude. So.
I like April. I like his attitude.
I do too. Should have been a tie for Kyle and April in the same slot.
Cody says, "Has anyone had any wonderful experience with Shatner?" Yes, I signed with him, getting our signs. I've never known him in my 15 years of conventioning to do personalised autographs. He did not do that when I met him previously. Actively said no. The agent comes up to you in the line, this is in the year 2000, said no, he will not personalise. But he personalised. I engaged him in conversation. He talked to me openly, actively, and I've dealt with at least 200 celebrities of different kinds over my 15, 20 years. And he was in the upper 50% of engaging. He answered questions, he thought. I think he stopped to sign briefly and answer a question, which he didn't have to do. He's always busy, always on the list. I have 0 complaints. He was humble. He was as you hope he was, if not overly bouncy. Yeah. But yeah, and personalising, I will treasure those signs the rest of my life because he personalised them. Yeah, no problem.
And I've seen him in person 3 times now to get a photo or an autograph, and each time he has been more than gracious and friendly. Sometimes even kind of joking around because there was a mix-up or whatever, and so I've had really good interactions with him. Even though at the same conventions I hear that he yelled at volunteers or whatever. So, yeah, my personal interactions with him have all been positive. So.
And I would say he doesn't need the money, so the fact that he's still doing conventions, a lot of them every single year, and they're after Khan things, is for the fans. Now, for the fans, they'll give him money, but still for the fans. He doesn't have to do it. And so you talk about Anson doing it sort of for the money. Like, Shatner at 90 is still doing them. He could have retired years ago. Like, if you want to meet Captain Kirk, you can. That's amazing. You know? That's amazing. Like, if you asked him in the 60s, would you do conventions in your 90s, say, no. But he's doing them. So I'll always give him credit for that. He doesn't have to.
Although, to be fair, he's flooding the market with Shatner autographs. So it's not going to be like they're worth very much, considering they're not personalized as well. They're just generic Shatner autographs, which means they'll never be worth a lot unless they're personalized.
But it's the meeting him that's the special bit. It's the iconography. You're right. It's you signing your own thing. That's cool. It's getting a book. It's getting a poster. It's getting your picture signed by him. I do agree somewhat, but also he was always going to be the first captain of the first Enterprise, and one of the most iconic shows of all time. Like, that is truly an amazing.
But he wasn't the first captain of the first Enterprise. Jeffrey Hunter was.
That people saw, Stuart. That people saw. People didn't see the occasion until later.
Oh, you're pulling that card.
Yes, absolutely. I'm pulling that card. That's how that matters.
Kit throws in $5
him back
PayPal.
in as being important, Stuart. He wasn't even canon until they canonized him.
But still, he started it. $5 into PayPal saying, think we may see Kang, Koloth, or Kor in Strange New Worlds. Ooh, possibly. That'd be kind of neat. I'm waiting for the Klingons to show up for sure.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled we got the leak, because it really helps. Excited for sure. Cool. But yeah, we got so close on minimum, guys. Only 35, but a new member makes up the difference, I suppose. Yes. And we'll see Stuart. We'll see you both tomorrow, or you both. Wow, there's only two of you. All of you tomorrow for the first reaction and our full review on Friday.
Yeah, I got to speak to you about the first reaction. It might be a half hour later. It might be at 10:30, because I'm going to see Top Gun tomorrow at 7:10.
Yeah.
It'll be over around 9 o'clock ish.
Are you doing a
or
Top
9:30ish
Gun full review live then, Stuart, as well?
I'm getting there. Hold on, shut up.
I did that.
Anyway,
sorry, edit.
Over around,
right, start again.
It'll probably be over. Exactly. It'll probably be over at 9:30, and it's about a 24-minute drive. So we can get home around 10. Okay. So I'm going to schedule the live a little bit later tomorrow. I'll say whether I like the movie or not at the beginning, and that's it. Then we'll move on to the episode, and then I'll probably be doing a Top Gun discussion live sometime on Friday, or possibly on the weekend. We'll see. But yes, I will be talking about it at some point. Absolutely, 100%. I am very excited to see it. So, and my birthday's on Saturday, so maybe I'll do a birthday / Top Gun live. I don't know. We'll see.
Fancy.
And then next week, who the hell knows what's happening? Because I'm leaving for Wonderfest Thursday morning.
Yes, indeed.
I'll be able to do a first reaction video on Thursday necessarily. It might have to be the following week. And we don't know what the live schedule is going to be like for that week. So, just so you know. Eric Skelton throws in $2. You missed my super chat. No, I haven't read it yet, Eric. I'm getting there. Hold on. Puts in $5 before that. It's the last one. Wait a minute. I missed Saucy Puppet shows too. All right. I'll read Eric's first. $5. Pike's dramatic Earth history presentation in Episode 1 is one of the greatest scenes in all Star Trek history. You should list your favorite Star Trek scenes. Oh, Jesus. There's so many.
I would not put that up in my list. It would be one of the better of its kind, but no, I enjoyed lots of scenes better. It's good. It's really good. But no, no. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. A Saucy Puppet Show puts in $5 and says, I'm tardy, like usual. Glad they've been giving the rest of the crew decent stories. Curious to see who they cover this week. Probably Juan, by the sounds of it. Yeah. And Kit 10K throws in $5 into PayPal saying, sadly, I'll be asleep for your review tomorrow, Cap.
Oh.
No. That's okay. Hope you're enjoying the new
Oh my god. Deborah's right. The Kenobi series starts this Friday.
Yep. Which I'll be doing a first reaction to Probably early next week, maybe on Monday or something.
I might have to do the first. Well, when I come back on Sunday night from Marie's, I might have to do a first reaction on that.
Well, you do one and I'll do one.
I'd have to watch it first, which also means that'll be late in the evening, which means no one in the UK can watch it. But or maybe on Monday, because that might be worth doing.
Maybe we can both do one on Monday as our live.
I'm really interested. I would say excited, but I'm so nervous about it, Stuart. I'm not excited. I'm nervous.
Oh, I'm excited for it. I'm not nervous about anything. So.
Cool. All right.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
All right, and Eric Skelton has the last super chat slot.
Saved it. Good job.
So, anyway, we will call it there, and we will see you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Until then, he's Freddie.
I am. And he is Commander Kai.
I am. Bye, guys.
We are Team Trekyards.
Yes.
We are. So say we all.
Indeed. Indeed.